Hey coaches, Coach Michael Fields here, presenting on my wing tee power spread version of the shotgun wing tee offense. I'm currently at Grande High School as the offensive coordinator. Got my contact information there. I've got my school address as well as my coachmichaelfields@gmail.com. You can find me on Instagram, Coach Michael Fields, and on X, Coach Michael F. So I've been coaching since 2009. I started out as a middle school coach, moved across the country for my day job, took a job or started coaching youth football. It was the only opportunity I had. And I'm currently the varsity offensive coordinator. I work with our running backs and quarterbacks. I also help on defense with our linebackers. We went to a 4-2-5 last year, so I work with our outside safeties as well. They're kind of that hybrid guy. I've been a middle school head coach, assistant coach, a youth head coach, football operations manager, been on a state championship team as a coach, multi-sport coach, had basketball, baseball, softball in the past. By day, I'm an associate professor of management and leadership and teach collegiately for the past 15 years. Been on all the youth boards, travel boards, rec boards, you name it. But my real passion is just developing athletes into good, productive citizens. And I coach them beyond the scoreboard, providing life lessons through the sports, and also do some mental toughness training that I started about a year and a half ago with athletes at the college and high school level. So background of our high school program. Previous to 2018, our high school program here was kind of hit or miss. We'd have a good year, maybe make the playoffs, and then have 5 years in a row where we win 2 games. 2018, our previous head coach installed this offense that I inherited. Kind of became real good friends with him. He still helps us out, even though he stepped down as the head coach. He started in 2018, and our team made it to the quarterfinals. 2019, we won state. 2020 was COVID. We played in the spring, went 3-1. 21, we went to the quarterfinals. 22, lost in semifinals. 2023, that's when our new head coach came in. We had a lot of change. Had graduated 22 seniors the year before and went 2-7. That was my first year as the OC. Our offense still ran really well though. And then in this past year, we were 5-5 in the playoffs. Our 5th loss was in the first round of the playoffs. We were league champs for 4 out of 5 years. Up to that semifinal loss, and we're kind of on the verge of getting there again. 2019, our team averaged 49 points a game, or 42 points a game, I'm sorry, in that state championship run. And this past season, I just checked the stats before we went live here. Our running backs, we have kind of 4 main ball carriers. You'll see here in the offense. They averaged over 6.5 yards a carry for the entire season. Our quarterback, we kind of do run the ball with our quarterback. He averaged 5.5 yards a carry. In 2019, our guy was averaging 11 yards a carry, which sounds ridiculous. He did go on to play college ball, though. So, and this past season, our main ball carrier, he carried the ball an average of 7.5 yards a carry. So, I mean, this offense is really a run-based offense, but we have kind of a spread over the top of it, have all those air raid kind of spread passing concepts sprinkled over the top, which makes it a really deadly kind of offense. So this is our main formation that we run. We call this Blue Pro. So Pro tells us where the tight end is. So we use Pro to the right, Con is to the left. We call this guy our 3-back, and then our 4-back is out wide, and they always stay, the 3 is always to the left of the 4. So when we flip the formation and go to Blue Con, so that's Blue Pro. When we go to Blue Con, you see the Y, the X and the Y flip, but then the 3 and the 4 just slide across the formation. And then, of course, the 2-back is kind of that sidecar next to the quarterback there. So again, our base formation here is Blue Pro or Blue Con, which just the Pro and the Con sets that the Y to the strength side there. We go under center, and then we just take the color off of the formation. So it would just be Pro or Con. And then we're kind of that traditional single wing. And then you can see those combo backs, the 3 and the 4-back, who will play the wing or the wide out. They go into the backfield. So again, the 3 is still to the left of the 4. The 4 is the wing. The 3 is now in a 2-point stance in the backfield next to our 2-back. I know a lot of guys call these A's and B's and F for fullback, but we use the number system. So then here's Con. So you can see the wing is now the 3-back, the 4 is in the backfield, X and Y always opposite each other. So this is kind of traditional based on the, single wing wing tee offense when we're under center, version of the shotgun wing tee. So we just collectively call it wing tee power spread. So blue pro, back to that formation. Looks like my slides are off a little bit here, but we number the holes. So it's 1, 3, 5, 7, or 9 to the left, 2, 4, 6, 8 to the right. And then when we call our play, like if we're running dive, we would call this blue pro 26 dive, and that would just tell our two back he's running the ball to the 6 hole. Yellow pro is kind of our second shotgun formation. So in this, we're just going to put more of a balanced set. So we're going to have our wing, and again, the 4 is on the right, the 3 is on the left. The 3 becomes more of that slot receiver. We like this for the RPO game because we'll put an RPO tag on for this slot receiver. We can also tag our X. We can also tag stuff front side. And then yellow con again. Now the 3 is the wing. The 4 becomes the slot. X is still out wide. The 2 goes opposite the tight end. All right, so our base play here, this is our version of buck sweep. This is blue pro 28 guard G versus a 4-3. So our rule, the Y tells the wing they have a call, and we let the players decide how they're going to call that. Sometimes it's a hand signal, sometimes it's a code word, whatever, we let the players take charge of that. If the end is head up or inside, the Y is going to down him. If he lines up outside, the wing takes him, and whoever doesn't get the end between the Y and the wing goes up to the middle backer. We're going to leave him unblocked because in theory he's going to scrape across, and then he's going to be our kick out guy. So then we pull kick with the front side guard, we pull wrap with the backside guard. One thing that we do a little different than a lot of wing tee teams, we do not use strong and quick. Our right tackle is our right tackle. Our left tackle is our left tackle. They never switch sides. Unless I put in a heavy set, but that's a different conversation. So this is blue pro 28 guard G, our version of buck sweep. Got some video of it here. So this is taken, this is about 3 years ago, I think, from that 2022 season. You can watch the guards come at us here in the snap. Both guards, we kick, we wrap, and then we fight for some good yardage, and we pick it up. Oh, that's the 2019 season right there. That guy was pretty good, 25 there. So again, you can just see the Y goes down. The wing actually didn't block the right guy, but our guards did their job and our running back took care of the rest. So next slide here, same play, just a different angle. This here is out of our same set, but now this is going to be strong left where the last play was strong right. Our strength, our tight end was set to that side. You can see him come right at us, both guards, pull kick, pull wrap. That's a great version of how this play should look, right? So the wing does the right thing. We had a nice pull kick with the front side guard. You can see him, he's going to kick out this stand-up guy. Our wing gets up to this kind of backer. Let's see that one more time. And then the backside guard comes around and wraps just like he should. So, go last time here. So there you can see, right? There's the guard who kicked. There's the guard wrap. And then our back gets a nice cut. He's going to run it out to the sideline now. Cuts upfield. Big gain, right? Here's a version of it. This was the next season. This is our spring COVID season. So we can see it just from the end zone view. So here's our wing on the left, number 10. Then you're going to see number 11 come across, carrying the ball with our two guards pulling. Our splits, by the way, so you can kind of see them here. We want a minimum of 2 feet. So I typically teach my guards, I want them 2 feet from the center. I want my tackles 2.5 to 3 feet. And I want my tight end at least 3 feet. We used to run a straight 2-foot splits, but I've kind of changed that the last couple of years, just to kind of spread that defense out a little more. You can see the guards go, had somebody bust through, so we had to log him, and he gets in for the touchdown right there, okay? One more here. Should be same play. Boom, there he goes. You see the guy made it in there, and our backside guard just picked him up. All right, this is from our 22 semi-state run. Watch this one here. What I like about this clip here, I think this is the clip where our running back, we really teach that, you know, Kenny Simpson talks about the towel drill. We don't necessarily use the towel, we do the hurdle drill, but I want my back to get his hand without the ball onto his hand onto the back of the guard and really follow the guard, right? So we're going to see him follow the guard here. He gets up right on him. Look, got his hand on him. Boom. Bust off of him, goes and scores a touchdown, right? So that's a pretty good look at that. I think this is actually a JV clip. Yeah, it is. There he is, follows the guard. Perfect. Boom. Guard gets a block. He cuts off that block. He pushed him right into that block he wanted him to make. All right, so same play now, just versus a 3-3 stack. We used to see a lot of 3-3 stack. We might see it again because we got a league opponent, a new league opponent that used to run the stack. We used to see it about at least twice a year, and then we'll see a lot of the hybrid 3-5 stuff. Well, they'll same look as this 3-3 stack. So we kind of had to work on that. So the rule's a little different here, especially if they keep the tackle over our offensive tackle. And then the teams, a lot of teams then will slant him in, and then this backer comes to the C gap, or he will slant out and this backer will go B gap, right? So our rule for that is the tackle is going to step down, and whoever crosses his face between the D tackle and the strong backer, he takes him. And then the Y picks up whichever one, so he's going to flatten that down step in case it's the tackle slanting, and he's got to get a hand on the shoulder, hand on the hip, and just get him inside. If it's the backer, he takes that first kind of almost a lateral step against this 3-3 stack, and then if that backer's coming, then he's still kind of square, and then he can get up to that backer. And either way, the Y is going to take whichever one of these goes C gap, the tackle takes whoever goes B gap, and then the wing in this instance is going to take whoever, he's going to kind of make a path at this guy in case he comes over the top and the Y misses. If not, and if that happens, then the Y is just going to pick up the middle backer. But if the Y does his job, picks up the Sam, then our wing is going to come around the top and pick up the middle backer as he scrapes over, assuming he's not blitzing an A gap. If they're blitzing A gap real strong, we have a call just to keep one of our guards, depending on which side, you know, we need that guard to be. It's typically the strong side, and then our backside guard will just be the kick out. We just don't have a wrap guard at that point because the guy he would be wrapping is, you know, picked up by that wing there. Or I'm sorry, he's picked up on the blitz. So here we are against this 3-3 stack. You'll want to watch right here. You'll see the tight end does a good job because this guy's inside. This team didn't blitz a whole lot on that, so they're not really slanting and sending a backer. They were more of kind of wait and fill type backers. This will bring that back a little bit so we can see it. Right, so you can see so the number 69 there starts to go outside on us. We're in the blue. So our tackle kind of just washes him out, right? That's the rule, wash him out. The guard kind of chucks him a little bit. We get him spun around in circles. Tight end went to the middle backer. And there our back makes a good cut. Guard kind of whiffs there. But we pick up some big yards because we had good running backs. Right? So then our second play, so that buck sweep or guard G we call it, is our number one play we installed. Day one, first play, Blue Pro 28 guard G. Next play we put in is Blue Pro or Blue Con or under center 22 trap. So this is just our typical trap play here. So we're going to trap block the first guy past the center. First guy past the offensive center. So against a 4-3, it would be this D tackle right here, lined up in the B gap. We're not going to touch him with our guard or play side tackle. We're going to get our tight end up to this backer since he's outside. Then he's going to try to get inside. He'll probably chip him on his way up. And then we're probably not going to do a whole lot with this DN because we read him with our quarterback. So we always have the ability to pull it with the read option. So typically we chip and climb on the backside is our rule on that last guy on the line of scrimmage. And then we're going to trap block this guy with our backside guard. So he's going to get up to the weak side backer. Tackle's going to get up to this Mike backer. We're going to get our tight end up here. This guy shouldn't be able to make a play. If he does, our guard and our running back got to get faster. So it's really kind of a off the hip. We can talk about scraping paint. His hip should scrape paint on his butt as he comes across to trap block him. And then we typically want to bounce it. Once we get through the hole, we're going to bounce it outside, and then we just get straight up field. We love this against two high safeties because there's always a gap here, and a lot of safeties don't really want to tackle a running back running full speed at them. So here we got our trap play here. We're going to see, so this is going to be 21 trap, so this is the opposite direction. So you're going to see the right guard pull around. You're going to see him get up to the backer here. He's going to get to the backer here. We're going to trap block this defender right here. Boom. Look at that hole, right? It was a beautiful execution. Right there, wide open. I could have run through that, and I've got a knee brace on after surgery, so I could have run through that, at least gotten a yard, right? Then if our tackle would have done a better job on the backer, we would have had a little cleaner there. So that's our trap, whether it's 21 trap or 22 trap, it's going to go to the A gap. Now we do have teams that will play an odd front, so it goes wider. It's going to hit more in that B gap, and then we just have a call. We just have a call that we kind of say in the huddle that our quarterback can read. He can actually get up to the line of scrimmage and see that the trap block is going to be wider, and then he can yell out that code word. So and our center can also make that call because our center is pretty smart. He will make the call, and then typically our quarterback usually will repeat it so the running back will hear it as well. Here's trap again. This should be the 22 trap to our right. There it is, a little tighter there. Or maybe we ran, that might have been weak trap. Let me see, which way did we pull here? Nope, that's true. Yep, 22 trap, it was just tighter because that guy was coming into the, he's in that B gap and he squeezes pretty good, so our guard has to really get tight. Boom, then our back has to cut the other way, still picks up 3 or 4 yards. Okay, one more version coming at us. We're in the white. This is against our rival, so I like to show film of this, especially when we do a good job. I'm going to just slow scroll through it. So here we go. We're going to go trap to, on the screen, our right, but it's a left. Oh no, this is our weak trap, sorry. So we're going to run it to the right. Instead of coming across, he's just going to get the ball and come straight up. So this is our weak trap. We're running it away from the tight end here. So we like to do that when teams start to pick up on things. We like to run it to the weak side. So here you can see, boom, 77 there. Thinks he's got a free pass, right? Because our guard doesn't touch him. Then, bam, there's the kick out block. And there goes our back. Does a good job of cutting it back to green grass, right? That's what we would teach a running back. All right, so then blast is kind of our weak side play. So this is our Blue Pro 23 blast. We're going to motion our whiteout. He's going to motion across, and then we're going to snap the ball somewhere as he crosses the quarterback's face, right? We want to snap it after he crosses. So he's probably going to wait, the quarterback, when he's right in front of him, call for the ball, and then he should pass him, and then he is the lead blocker through the hole. So our 3 and 4 backs are really, truly a combination guy because they got to be a wing and a wideout and in the backfield. So they got to be able to block first because of their job as a wing. Run second, catch third is kind of our rule. We do want them to have good hands, so we try to make sure that they work as receivers as much as they do blockers and running backs. So this is just our weak side blast. So we're going to motion him with the jet motion. We're going to snap the ball when he crosses the center, and then our quarterback is just going to turn and hand the ball, and he's just going to follow him up. Another way we run this is we just run it as a 13 blast and the quarterback runs it, no motion, he's just going to then the 2 becomes the lead one-on-one there. We were really successful this past season. Our quarterback right now loves to run the ball, pretty good athlete. He'd prefer to run it over throw it or hand it off and let his running back do his job. So then here's that under center, same version, right? Under center. So the great thing about this offense, 28 guard G, 22 trap, 23 blast, and then, flip it, go the other direction. The blocking is the same no matter what formation we're in. So from our left tackle to the Y and our wing, the job is the same blocking assignment no matter the formation, whether we're in blue, which is that 11 tray look, whether we're in yellow, which is that 11 doubles look, or if we're under center, the blocking's the same for these 7 guys. The only thing that changes really is the backfield action. So under center with blast, the 3 becomes the lead blocker, and the 2 then gets the ball and heads upfield with it. Number 1 play or pass play, first pass play. This is again day 1 install. Day 1, we're going to put in our buck sweep, our trap, and then we go to our boot play because we are based on the wing tee. So with our boot play from under center, depending on what we need to do, if they're getting us on the outside, we'll actually pull our center, and he'll kind of come out here and set up and protect our quarterback. But we're going to have that guard G or that buck sweep action with our 2-back, and then we're going to hinge on the backside tackle here because this D end is going to come upfield, so we're going to hinge and pick him up. And then this is just the Y cross, right? This is that 5 and across. He's running that dig, that drag across. If we don't pull the center and the wing goes into a route, he's going to run a post over the top to hold the safety. We're going to run actually a post corner nowadays with our X, and we're looking to hit the Y, right? That's a traditional kind of wing tee waggle, wing tee boot look, and we're running it just like everybody else is. We don't reverse pivot though. What we're going to do is we're going to take a shuffle step with our quarterback in that mesh point. He's going to go shuffle 1 or 2 depending on the timing, and then he's just going to use like a bucket step and then get around into his boot path. It's actually going to be a lot kind of deeper than what I have drawn up here. He's going to get about 3 yards, 4 yards deep, and then he's going to get square to make that throw, and he's going to be running at his target of the Y when he throws that. The great thing about this play is all the routes are going the same direction, so if the Y is not open, we love to hit the post corner deep to the X, because once you run this once and you hit the Y crossing, that safety starts to suck up. Then the corner's one-on-one with our X, who's typically one of our faster guys. The next pass play that we put in, so our run plays, guard G, trap, blast. We do have a dive play, which is our version of belly. Then we go to our passing game with the boot pass being first. And then the second play that we put in is kind of a flood action, a flood to the right here. So this would be blue pro turn Ron. Ron and Lou are our calls for our pass protection, which is going to just be a slide protection to the right if it's Ron. If it's Lou, slide protection to the left. We do use some rodeo lasso that we've taken from some other coaches, but that's for different situations. And then this is just a flood concept, right? We're going to get this is what we call our turn route right here. He's going to just get to the line of scrimmage and get flat. We're trying to attack whoever has the flats, whoever's responsible for guarding the flat. We're going to clear out with our wide guy. He's going to run kind of a seam, fade, go route, whatever you want to call it. And we're going to run a 5 and out with our Y. So now this flat defender, if this next defender, this alley defender doesn't get over, this flat defender either has to jump the turn route or drop to take the 5 and out. Whichever one he doesn't cover, we're looking to hit. Right? And since we already have a guy blowing by him, he's probably backpedaling, so this turn route becomes really good. And then, it's great for a 4 or 5 yard pickup because once he catches it, this guy's 5 yards off. The Y is right there, right? So he's going to catch it and get upfield. And this is a really quick play. We're looking to catch it, turn our feet with our quarterback, and make the pass immediately because you're looking at your 2 reads. 1, 2, right here. It's a low to high, turn route to the 5 and out. Neither of them are there. Throw it deep and either out throw it so nobody catches it, or give this guy a big highlight reel touchdown. Next is what we call hide. It's kind of a flood concept again. We're going to run an outside whip route with our 4. So it's going to look like a hitch. Usually get the corner to bite on it, and then he whips to the outside. We're going to run, we always want our wing and our Y to look like that same release on all of our pass plays. So they're going to kind of start out like he did with that turn route where he gets to the outside, then he's going to go up, and then depending on how many safeties they have, if it's 2 high, we're going to run away from him and split him. If it's 1 high, we're going to get to the corner and just go deep on him, right? So it just depends on if we're looking at cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, quarters. Depends on how we run it, and then we run the drag on the backside. One thing about this offense that we love, if this guy, if our 2-back doesn't need to be used in pass protection, he can release. And we've kind of come up with about 3 different ways he can release. 1, we'll bubble him. 2, we call it a Z route. He'll just come up and sit right where the Mike backer was. So he just kind of comes up, nobody's there. Then he kind of makes a Z route over there. And now we had a game last year where they didn't cover the back out. So he came up, looked, nobody there, and then he just released straight down the field because this guy was like coming across the field. And we ended up getting a 60-plus yard touchdown on just a simple release. We just called it release. Quarterback and running back had the call in the huddle. And they kind of knew on film, from watching film, that it was there. So we just kind of added that in week of the game. Our smash concept, a little different when we run it out of the 11 tray set, our blue pro formation. To get the smash concept on the backside, we run kind of that Y cross or that dig route here with a post route with our X. So that way we got that over-under look with those 2 guys. And then, of course, the traditional smash concept with the hitch on the outside and then the corner route with our wings. So we're going to read this right to left. So we're going to look here first, nothing there. Come back to the Y, nothing there. He's going to be over the top. Our quarterback's rule is if he gets to his 3rd read and nothing's there, he's going to tuck it and go. Or dump it to the running back if he's released. Our fire screen, or outside kind of tunnel screen, we will run it with our 2-back coming out to the corner. Then our tackle is going to take about 1 to 2 kick steps, and then he's going to get out and lead. And then the rest of our guys are going to kick to the right because that's our pass pro. And he is there going to kick 3 and then release upfield, right? So they're going to kick 3 and release. Ideally, we're going to get this ball. It's going to be catch, throw. Our X, our rule for him is he's going to go, we have our inside foot up. He's going to go 1, 2, 3, and then retrace his steps and come back inside to catch the tunnel screen. And then we'll also have the same kind of idea going on with our wide out on the other side. And we always have a pass route called for our Y and our wing. And we just use our turn concept that I showed earlier. So we have our turn routes going on the back side of the screen. We're in our last game of last season, and our running back just got blown up when he went to go. It was on a different screen. It was on our inside screen, but we have the same pass concept there. And they blitzed and literally took out our running back. And my quarterback sees that to his right, and we had these turn routes on the left. So he just kind of rolled a little bit, hit our wing, who turned it upfield for a 40-yard touchdown. So having those routes on the backside is important, whether it's a corner jumping this and the 2 whiffs, or if you're doing, this is what we call crack screen. It's just underneath, the 2-back is going to come up like pass pro, then slide behind our tackle and get the screen. You got to have a safety valve. So we always put a passing concept on the tight end side, and it's really so that everybody thinks it's passed and you throw the screen, but it's also in case your screen gets blown up, you've got something to do with the football then. So here's yellow pro. This is that second shotgun look that we run with the tight end wing with the slot receiver now. And then this is where we put in kind of our version of a shallow mesh or a mesh passing concept. We're going to have our Y run the drag. Our slot's going to run what we call the shack route. And the reason we call it shack route is he really is going to sit down. If there's green grass, no defender there, he's not going to keep going. So it's kind of a choice route. He's going to sit down wherever there's green grass. If there's no grass, he's going to continue going. Some years our guys kind of turn and kind of shuffle and slide across. Other years, they're more like a traditional receiver that's not there. He just stays in his sprint and he's going across. Ideally, we're going to hit, low to high on this, right? We're going to read the Y, then we're going to go to the slot. If it's not there, we have the post over the top, the seam over here, or he can stop if that safety's bailing on him. So kind of have a couple choice routes on the shack play there. And then we have our RPO game. One of my favorites that was super effective this past year is what we call peak. I did steal this from another coach, like we all do. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come off at about 80% with our slot receiver. If this guy bites on the run, because we're running buck sweep or guard G right here, right? So guard G is going this way, and then our quarterback's going to shuffle at the mesh point. If this guy bails, he's going to pull it and hit this guy on basically a slant route, right? But it's a slow slant. Then when he catches it, he gets upfield. I know we scored or got big yards on that play about 3 or 4 times late in the season last year. We were having a lot of success. Like I said, we averaged 6.5, 7 yards a carry running the ball. Teams would load the box, boom, we hit them with an RPO, softens the box, you run the ball, they tighten the box up, hit them with the RPO again, right? This is, that's just a bubble. That's just one of our kind of bubble plays here to our running back. So we faked our screen play that we had there, right? Our tunnel screen out to the X, and then threw it to the running back instead. So we call this fake fire. So instead of our tunnel screen, it looks like tunnel screen, but then we're going to just hit the running back. Sometimes he'll bubble, sometimes he'll go straight up field. That's just kind of a way we can set up some different plays there. Just got some bonus film for everybody out here. There's one of our RPOs. That was to our X receiver there. So that's just what we call snag. So in this one here, right, even our camera couldn't pick up on it. I might have been running the camera for this game. So we got our guard G action, but then he pulls it and we're just running a slant to the X. If we see the corner soft, we run a slant. If he's up tight, then you can see the X come back in the picture there. Right, so that's just another piece of the RPO, and that's what we like about this offense. A lot of guys are like, you can't run it from the true shotgun. You can't run, guard G and trap, or what we call guard G is buck sweep. They think you have to have that fullback so that you're faking every time. Well, our fake is our quarterback on that backside D end or the pass, right? So the RPO, the read option, or the pass option that we're going to do there, and that's just a version of the pass option right there. One more time here. Let's see what we queued up in this time. I think this one is our quarterback running the ball. Yeah, so this is that blast play that we talked about earlier, but this is a Q blast, right? So he's just going to run weak side B gap. So at the snap, the fullback or the two back in our case is going to lead through. Hole gets kind of washed. He makes a nice cut. He was a pretty good athlete. Went on to play some college baseball. It was kind of nice to have good athletes. One more here. I think this is our trap play again here. So we're in the white. Oh, this is just our bubble. Or quick guard G is what we call this, sorry. So we see we're going to go to the weak side. So we still use the language from traditional wing T offense. Quick guard G, meaning we're going to the quick side. For us, it's just weak side because, again, our offensive line does not flip. So you can see here now we're just going to basically throw a bubble to the two back, but our two guards pull. So it's quick guard G, so it's that same idea as buck sweep to the weak side with a bubble to our two back. And then the traditional kind of crisscross or counter play, we call it GY reverse. We've gone away from the double handoff and gone to a shovel pass. It's a lot more effective. Our quarterback that we have right now, going into a senior season right now, or off season for his senior year, he started a little bit as a sophomore because our senior got hurt. He won it out as a junior over another kid. So, he's got a lot of experience now, and he's really good and deceptive at kind of riding that mesh point with a couple of shuffle steps, and then flipping that ball to our wing coming across. So GY reverse is the traditional crisscross counter play that you'll see in a lot of wing tee offenses. We're just going to down, down, down with everybody, and then the strong guard and the Y are going to pull. The guard's going to kick. The Y is going to wrap. The 2 is going to come across and help pick up the D end, and then we're going to do a little shovel pass to our 3. It also makes it nice because if there is somebody blows up the play and the wing drops the ball, it's a forward pass. So we actually had a game this past season. They're yelling fumble, and the other team thinks they have it, and our coach like, that's a pass, shovel, and so we ended up just getting an incomplete pass called on that. Even though we do stat it as a run play, it is a pass technically. And then we do run a jet sweep. Just, we try to mix it up. We try to add elements from all the different offenses out there. So what we do is we do 3 pull steps with everybody. So they're going to pull for 3 and then dip and rip and get upfield. We're going to snap this. And again, we do the volleyball pass with this. So our quarterback is going to call for the snap between the guard and the A gap. And then he's going to catch it and volleyball kind of right to the receiver running across, and he wants him to catch it between the A gap and guard. So this guy is full speed ahead, and when he hears the ball is snapped, he's going to turn his upper body so he's ready to catch that and keep running. So we really work on timing. We'll have a session, in daily doubles where we run our wing T drill, which we do under center and work the trap action and the guard G action, and then we run what we call our motion plays, and we'll work the jet sweep, and we'll work the GY reverse, so that way that timing of the flip and the pass is there for our guys. And then we have our dive play, right? So this is our version of belly. We kind of do a little bit of an X block here. So we have our little bit of a double team, but he's not really going to double him. He's just going to kind of chip as he climbs to the backer. And then if he misses, he's really going to end up at the weak backer. Oh, let me go back here. Because our wing is going to come through and pick up the mic, and then our guard is going to come through and get the Sam. We're going to drive him out, drive him down, and we're just going to make sure that our tackle has him with our guard, and then the guard would actually peel off to the weak side or climb to the safety, because we're going to chip and climb here, because we will, we don't really block that backside defender. And so this is 11 dives. So our 2 is going to run like it's guard G, and then the quarterback's going to pull it and run underneath. It's a great complement. So it's basically Q belly. So we're going to run that after we've had a lot of success with guard G, and then teams start to, walk this strong safety up here, put this guy on the outside, then boom, this C gap opens up really nice. The other is kind of the buck sweep pass, right? We call it guard G sit. So we're going to run that turn route combination essentially, and then we're going to run this, and then once he gets here, this guy is already cleared. We'll actually send him upfield, and then what we're going to do is we're going to ride and then pull it and hit somebody in the passing game, right? So it's going to look, we're just doing that influence block to suck everybody up, then we're going to throw it behind him, usually to the Y. He's going to fake his down block for about 3 steps and then pop out. It's not really a true 5 and out. It's just kind of a get to green grass somewhere over here. Same thing with the wing. He's going to come down, put his hand on him, and then pop straight out. So it looks a lot like a flood concept, but they're really, it's a play action pass. A couple things just to share with everybody. If you're not with Player Book, with the quarterback training system, I'd highly recommend it. Matt Lasker that runs that does a great job. And then on the other side there is the playbook that Coach Stone and myself put out. We just published it this year, and it's out there available on Amazon, and we'll get the links to you for that. And if you have any questions, you can get a hold of me. The QR code there is to my link tree. I've got my school email, also my Coach Michael Fields Gmail account. At some point in the future, I could leave school, so that email might be better. You can find me on all the socials, Coach Michael Fields on Instagram, Coach Michael F on X.